Well, hello, and welcome to the Coaching Business Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Kat Knecht, and I'm excited to share with you the many soul-driven strategies that are here to help you succeed in your business and your life. And today, I'm going to take a look at how to stay on the path of your heart, listen to the wisdom of your soul when facing the day-to-day joys and challenges that occur when building a coaching business. Now, as coaches, you know that mindset is the most important aspect of any kind of success for your clients. There's the mind blocks that get in the way when the mindset is negative, and the creative action that can seem like magic when your client is in that positive mindset based on the truth of who they are and what's possible. How much thought have you given to your own mindset? Often, when coaches are building a business, they get so focused on the tasks, they forget to do their own mindset work. They wonder why they're so uninspired when it comes to marketing their services. They can't understand why they keep getting blocked when they know they have something valuable to offer. This is why I created the Soul Search process. The Soul Search is a coaching tool that you can use to keep you on track with your dream of having a sustainable, fulfilling coaching career. And my guest today is going to help you understand how you can change your mindset using this process, because we're going to give you a demonstration of how it works when I take her through the process today. My guest is Ronda Colavito. Prior to starting her coaching and consulting practice, Rhonda was an internal coach and led talent and leadership development at Dolby Laboratories, Sony PlayStation, and Pete's Coffee. Rhonda is a seasoned coach with more than 20 years' experience of one-on-one and team coaching, as well as designing and leading a variety of corporate learning and leadership development programs. And I happen to personally know, because Rhonda is a member of the Soul Driven Success community, that she has a new program. It is called Relationships at Work. It's designed for individuals, groups, and teams. Here's just a little snapshot. This program will help you unlock your success, master your mindset, lead with presence, navigate conflict with confidence, make meaningful connections, and leverage your influence. Now, who doesn't want that? So here's the thing, though. In order for Rhonda to get that work out there in the world and change people's lives, we're going to do a little mindset work when it comes to marketing this amazing program and her leadership coaching service, because the world needs her. So welcome to the show, Rhonda.
Thank you, Kat. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. And
Uh,
this is a true thing for you. And there are a lot of coaches listen to this show. And so we're here for them too. We're here to like let them know this is an important part. We talk about, yes, get your marketing message, yes, get your need, all the things that are important. And we can't do this on our own, right? You have mindset in your program, right? We can't, I really think we can't change our own mindset because that we actually need somebody to help us kind of get past some of those blocks.
that is absolutely the stickiest part.
It's the stickiest part. So I'm going to set this up for everyone listening who does not know this process. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through the 7 steps. The first one is the narrative. I'm going to ask Rhonda some questions about what's happening right now with her marketing. We're going to look at things that are going well and the positive. Maybe some negative thinking. This is where the blocks come. Then we're going to dip into what inspires her, what she really wants, how she imagines it will happen, and the creative action that she's going to take. That's the piece, right? When it's coaching, we have some action. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's do this thing. So tell me, when you think of the narrative, what are some things that are going on right now with you around your, marketing, and how you're thinking and feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm really excited about what I've created and what I have to offer. And it feels like it is something coming from my soul.
Mm.
Yeah. It's been a journey for me to get to this place, and I have made every communication and relationship mistake in the book at work.
I love that.
And I've learned the lessons
Mm,
maybe the hard way.
yeah.
And part of becoming a coach is taking the wisdom that you have learned and using the skill set of coaching and helping other people. And I like that just lights me up. I
Mhm.
really enjoy helping people and making the road a little bit easier for them.
I know you do. I know
Yes,
this is true.
yes. So I have all this excitement around this program. And what I realized is that I needed help marketing. And I think this is maybe the challenge that I've needed to overcome for a long time
Mhm.
because self promotion has been uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
In the workplace, I was promoting company programs. And now, as an independent coach and consultant, I'm promoting myself.
And if you're not watching, because that's kind of fun to see the look on your face, it is. It's like, oh, I'm promoting myself.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, Rhonda, is that it's like this. There's a humble. I feel that there's a humbleness
Yes.
that is like good in a lot of ways, but there's actually a piece that's overdone where
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, you have something really great to offer, and it's time to let people know so that they can really hear it. And that's where you're a little bit stuck. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like that word humble resonates with me
Mhm.
because I was raised that way. And you're
Right.
right. It's an overdone strength sometimes. And that has kind of bitten
Mhm.
me in the rear end in the past.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a I mean, it is a fine line to walk of being humble and yet, say really actually crowing about yourself
Right.
to the point so people can actually hear it and get what you have to offer.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so let's look at when you think because we're going to the positive now. What are your positive thoughts or actually things you've done where you have promoted yourself and felt good about it?
Well, I'm trying to put myself out there a lot more since I started my own business. So I'm doing a lot of networking. I'm meeting a lot of new people. I'm
Mm.
talking about my business every opportunity that I get. And what I'm realizing is that the more you do it, the easier it gets, the more it flows out of your mouth in a more
Mm,
inspiring way. And so I see the progress that I've made over the last 6 to 9 months. And that feels fantastic.
mm.
And I remember saying to myself when you and I first met that marketing was one of those things that I just needed to learn. It was a new learning challenge for me.
Right.
And so I'm really starting to see that that's true. And I'm starting to feel that that's true. And that's exciting and fun. Um,
Yeah, I want to just say something here because I love this because
mhm.
that I hear there's a value you have around learning. Like I said, that's fun,
Yeah.
and the part that's hard is becoming not so hard because it's just a repetition. It's just doing it,
Yeah.
and these are just people that you're talking to. And what's been one of like a positive reaction you've gotten or exchange with people when you put your marketing message out?
I think one thing that I am constantly hearing from people is that what I am passionate about is something that they definitely see a need for in the workplace. And I don't think I've run across a single person who didn't feel like either they or someone they knew could use some work around how they build relationships in the workplace and how they communicate in the workplace. So I feel like where I'm focusing is really resonating with people and it
Yes.
feels fantastic. That's really fun.
Good. I know for me, whenever you talk about your program and I get that same hit. Having worked in organizations, I mean, I've worked for the Postal Service and I work for churches, and it doesn't matter which organization it is.
Yeah.
Those relationships are where things get really sticky and having really I just feel like all the people you've talked to, it's so needed. And yet it's an area that's so vulnerable
Yes.
that it's not always talked about. So,
No, it isn't. And some
yeah.
people are just naturally good at it
Mm-hmm.
and they make it look easy. And then for other folks, it isn't easy, and or they run up against a person who has a different style than they do, and for whatever reason it's hard to navigate. And I think
Yeah.
people think that having good people skills should come naturally to them, and it doesn't always. It's a skill set and it's a mindset.
I love that. Just what we're talking about here about marketing, right? It's a
Mhm.
skill set and a mindset.
Yeah,
And it's that combination that you help people with.
yeah.
And it's resonating out there with everybody.
Mhm.
That's what I'm hearing. Nobody's saying like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, no.
Everything always goes great at the workplace, you know? Oh, so good, Rhonda. And I feel your energy here is really high when you talk about this. Like it's you said earlier, it's in your heart. It's your work to do in the world.
Yeah, really, honestly, I've done so much work inside the organizations that I've worked for around this, teaching people communication
Mm.
skills, relationship building skills. And when I decided to build a niche, this just felt so me. Not only because I've been doing it in my job and in my roles, but because it's been a journey for me as well. And so it just feels like on target for me.
Wow. So we're going to go to the negative here in a moment, but this is what I'm hearing, Rhonda. I'm like, how could there be any negative? Because your authenticity here is just, it's obvious as you're talking that you're talking about something true
Hmm.
and real and true for you. I think that's so important when we're marketing in our coaching. It has to be true for us. It's not just something we read in a book that we think is a good idea for other people
Yeah,
because you can feel that when somebody's just trying to tell you something as opposed to they really, this is what they care about.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's these aren't just skills that I read in a textbook or that I learned
Right.
from someone and
Right.
now I want to teach it. Like these are hard fought skills and
Mm,
lessons learned that have changed my life, right? And I want to
wow.
share that with other people.
Yeah. So when we look at the negative, we're really looking at are there like some blocks you have around like getting this word out there and really just like knocking on doors, whatever metaphor you'd want to use?
Yeah, Kat, I think it's the shadow side of that humility where
Yeah.
I never like I think if you met my father, he is the most humble person on the planet. And he has a radar for people who are overly
Mm-hmm.
salesy and self-promoting. And so that has been I guess, like a role model or something that I've always strived for because I admire him so much.
Mm.
And then I think the other piece is, working in the corporate world and having a fairly large budget to spend. I've interacted with so many salespeople,
Mm.
and some of them are fantastic. They're partners, they're helpful. And then there's the other folks. They want to know if you're the decision maker. And if you're not, they're just like, next. And I just really, really don't want to come across like a salesperson. I want to come across as someone who's helpful. And I just can't get out of my own head around judging myself.
Yes. That's what I'm hearing. I was really listening for that. Like, because when we're looking at the negative, we just want to find out, like, what is it that's actually the thought or
Yeah.
belief that's stopping you?
Yeah.
And I hear there's a thought or a belief that you actually are going to be like one of those people that your dad
Mhm.
doesn't like, or
Yep.
right? Or one of those salespeople that you've run into. You have a fear around that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I would definitely say it's a fear.
it's a fear.
Hmm.
So when you look at that fear, what about it is true and what's not true?
I think there is a truth to when I feel like I'm becoming too salesy, that
Mhm.
I'm not authentic and I'm not the person that people know and mostly like, yeah, when I feel like I am being inauthentic and doing something that feels more like a challenge, or I, I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah, I want to get it because I feel like you're just the fear. So we're looking at the fear.
Mhm.
And maybe is it the fear that that you have to be inauthentic or
Yeah,
that that's
yeah,
going to be the only way that you're not going to be able to do it in the humble human, way that's authentically Rhonda?
yes, yeah, yeah, that I'll feel some sort of pressure to be something other than who I.
Yeah. So there's the truth and the not truth. I
Hmm.
heard one thing you said, there is a line. There really is. It's like maybe you will cross that line.
Hmm.
I mean, that's kind of part of how you learn.
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes we learn by going, oh, no, no, that was too far. And
Yeah,
then you got to pull it back. But the fear is keeping you back too far.
yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. It's like it's a good thing to keep as a guide. Okay, is this you use the words too. Like you can tell.
Hmm.
You can tell personally. Oh,
Yes.
that didn't sound like me.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm getting in this negative, and I'm wondering if we look to inspiration. When you looked at the truth of this, what inspires you? What feels like the thing you want to bring forward?
I think the thing that inspires me is when I think back to how much I've grown as a
Mhm.
person by pushing myself to take on difficult conversations or to promote myself, to do those things in relationship with other people that make me feel just a little bit uncomfortable. I've gotten better at them. I've built better relationships. I've built trust. So, what inspires me is the growth.
I love that. That's connected for what, when you were talking in the narrative about how much you love to learn
Hmm.
and personal growth. I
Hmm.
hear a high value of yours. Here's a way for you to grow.
Yeah.
And it will be uncomfortable, right? That's just a fact
Mhm.
because you're dealing with other humans and
Yeah.
it gets uncomfortable when we're having conversations at times where people are like, "Oh, I don't know, and I'm not sure."
And isn't
And
that a funny paradox that,
tell me, what's the paradox for you here?
well, in order to learn and grow, you have to do things that make you feel uncomfortable,
That's
like
right.
really uncomfortable.
Like really, you can't just sit back and go, "Oh, I'm just going to do it back here."
Right.
You have to come
Exactly.
out. And
Yep.
what I'm getting in this inspiration for you too, Rhonda, again, in that this is your skill set around relationships, you might find somebody feels, oh,
Yeah.
that didn't feel, not that you're being inauthentic, but sometimes we have our own stuff going on,
Right.
right?
Yep.
That's the thing. We have our own stuff. We might feel like, oh, I don't know if that's right for me. And that's going to be for you to navigate with people.
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, as a coach, you're pushing people and you're constantly
That's
pushing people,
right. Out
right?
of their
And
comfort
so,
zone.
yeah, and I always call it an emotional hangover when you push someone else too far and you're like, "Oh, did I go too far?"
Yeah, it's an emotional hangover. We
Yeah.
have to do exactly. We do that as coaches all the time,
Yeah.
and then we just check it out. As we said, this is what you just said. Did I go too far? Like, tell me what's going on over there.
Right.
And all the things you said are usually what's true. It helps us grow. It helps them grow.
Yeah.
We find some new ground.
Hmm. And
So
so, well, and what I'm
so
wondering is
yes,
in my own coaching or in my own marketing, I guess, maybe the
yeah.
edge is a little bit of an emotional hangover.
Yeah. So we're in the desire part here.
Hmm.
How would you craft that as something that you want? It's going to be kind of bold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how might that be a desire for you?
I really want to inspire people to change.
Hmm. So I hear the desire is kind of like whatever it takes, willing
Yeah.
to be uncomfortable yourself to
Yeah.
inspire people to change.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, one of the paradoxes might be that actually might be what it takes in your marketing is that you're uncomfortable. And what people pick up is, oh, Rhonda's calling me out here. Rhonda's calling me to something that's a little uncomfortable, but that I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what words would you put that in? I'd like to put the desire so we have it really clear. This is for the listeners. Like, what would that desire be?
That's a good question. I mean, a phrase that comes to mind is calling people to action, but I don't know if that's strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a wake up call or,
Well, you could play around with it, but so that feels like you're in the right territory to kind of be the wake up call.
uh-huh, yeah.
To actually put out in your marketing. So we're
Mhm.
looking at your marketing message. Your marketing mindset is to be a wake up call
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How do you
That,
imagine? We go into imagining now. What are some ways you imagine that you're going to do this marketing
mhm.
that comes from this mindset that you're a wake up call for people?
Well, I mean, obviously, I need to catch people in a vulnerability, a place
Mm.
where they recognize themselves in in an issue that they're having, where they can go, oh, yep,
That's
mm-hmm,
me. That's me.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Mhm.
And what do you imagine the energy that you're going to bring to this?
Hmm. Gosh, there's a lot of ways you could go. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a wake up call in things that are scary, and then there's a wake up call in things that are inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
And there has to be a way to do both of those things at the same time.
Oh, so we're imagining there's a way to do both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And kind of so how do you imagine you'll do that? What are some ways? Like you put something out on social media, or do you imagine you'll like what are the ways you just in this moment can think that, oh, that's going to be your way of
Yeah.
connecting with people around
Um,
this wake up call?
well, I mean, absolutely. I think I need to put information out on social media so
Mhm.
people are, aware that I'm here and that the resource exists. So yes, and also connecting with people, I think one-on-one is one of my biggest strengths. So just continuing to network with people. I mean, I just really love to meet new people, and that's something that I'm constantly doing
Yes.
and talking about my business with people that I meet.
And here's a piece I really want you to like take this in because you've said a lot. So you're going to meet people where they're vulnerable.
Yeah.
I really get that's a part of your marketing and for this mindset of yours, that wake up, people will really get that.
Yeah.
You have a way of making people feel really comfortable. This is funny. We're talking about being uncomfortable. So that's a great asset
Mhm.
to be bringing people into an uncomfortable place,
Mhm.
but in a way that has them feeling like, oh, this is going to be okay. You said that
Yeah.
it's kind of a paradox, right? It's like, this is going to be hard, maybe, but it's going to be okay.
That would be, I mean, like that would be my dream that
Yeah.
my connection with people helps them connect with what's vulnerable, but in a place of possibility, because that's a great place for change.
That's the place for change right there. Otherwise, the change can't really happen.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Here we come. Here we come. Rhonda's coming. So, what is some action? So, creative action is a part of the soul search. What will like jumpstart this for you, or have you really taking this mindset on in a way that has you being able to bring this message consistently to the people who need you?
Yeah. I think one of my superpowers is getting people to be very vulnerable with me. And
Hmm.
I don't connect that with my marketing a lot. Yeah. So maybe, not maybe, yes.
Yes. What are you saying yes to?
I'm saying yes to having more direct conversations with people and cutting to their wants and desires and where they're vulnerable more quickly.
Mm,
And
wow. That's
mhm,
so cool. I'm stopping you because I just had an imagining of that happening. I imagine, like you said, it's a vulnerable area. And if somebody doesn't break through, if you don't do the wake up, people will shy away from it.
yeah.
I like what you're doing, Rhonda. That sounds great.
Not for
That's
me.
that exactly. That sounds wonderful. Oh, the workplace needs that so much. I'm so glad you're out there doing that. But it's going to take you saying, I'd be curious. How is this working for you?
Yeah.
What are some things, I mean, that might not be, I'm not wanting to put words in your mouth, but I'm just imagining how wonderful that moment is for
Yeah.
that person when you've actually just kind of you've called it out for them and they're like, oh, good. I can talk about this.
Right. Yeah.
It's safe.
Yeah. It's interesting as you're saying that, Kat, I'm thinking about how much this is like a coaching conversation.
Hmm.
And I think maybe one of the other things that's happening for me is I think I have to put on a different hat
Uh-huh.
when I'm marketing myself and be something else. And I don't have to be that.
No, no. It's this piece. So here's what I'm getting in the shift in the mindset is this piece of you really knowing that that you have to be the coach. That's
Mhm.
actually the coach
Yeah.
part of you that's going to make the connection that has people want to work with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what marketing is. Marketing really, the very best marketing is giving people hope and telling them, how, like, here's the hope in general. Like you use those words, here's a possibility, and here's a real clear possibility. I can actually help you with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to add something here. I just was talking with somebody about this last week, how important it is that we coaches have a financial construct.
Hmm.
Sometimes we can, like you said, you've worked for other people, so that can be a lot easier. An organization is paying. But when a person, and you might have organizations paying you, but there's something about money that also creates a really good relationship structure for you to be
Yeah.
able to help them, right? Because they
Yeah.
don't owe you anything. It's not like, it's like really clear. I'm going to pay you for this, and you're going to help me with this thing that's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's so funny. Before you said that, I was thinking how crazy it is that I've been doing this for so long, but the money and the marketing piece has not been a part of it
Right.
because I worked in an organization where I was either connected with people or they came to me. And so now I have to do this differently. But what I am recognizing is that I can be so much more of a, and
You just froze for a while. We're going to just have to cut this piece out.
we got stuck. It says my connection is
Yeah.
stable.
This
Isn't
is
it?
why. This is why we're so good. They're just gonna we'll cut this whole part out. It's all gonna be great. So you were saying, and then we're gonna need to wrap it up, but I wanted to get that point in there. You used to. This
Mm-hmm.
was a whole thing. It was great. They brought you the people,
Yeah,
you didn't have to think about money in marketing.
right. And there's an ease in that. But what I'm realizing now that I have my own business is that my clients actually have more skin in the game.
Yeah.
Right. And, the fact that they're paying me out of their pocket means that they are actually invested. And there
Mhm.
is something really exciting about that.
For you and for them.
Yeah.
Because what is it like to put to pay to have that kind of service for that
Yeah.
growth and that having success that they're really looking for that they've been blocked, that you're going
Mhm.
to help them get. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so I feel like we got the marketing mindset shifted. I want to give you an opportunity to let people know where they can find you
Yeah.
and anything you might want to have to offer that
Yeah.
have sparked people's interest as we've talked about your business today.
Yeah. A couple things. Folks can find me at rondacolavito.com. And I have a free assessment that I offer
Mm.
people to give them a little bit of a taste of the process
Mm.
around identifying someone that they would want to improve a relationship with, and then sort of looking at some things that they can do to improve that relationship and some things that they should do to avoid the relationship. So there's
Ooh,
they
cool.
download from my website. I also offer a free coaching consultation so that folks can get
Mm.
a taste of what it would be like to work with me and discuss, all the questions that they have about coaching. And I'm also cooking up something for next February, and I'm going to be offering a group coaching experience around this offering. And I'm excited about that because not only is there an opportunity for people to learn and grow and change, but in a group coaching setting, you can learn from other folks and you can see that you're not the only person that has blocks and mindset issues. You know, it's fun to learn from each other and to not feel alone in this idea of building good relationships at work.
Absolutely. Wow. So go run. All this information goes along with this podcast. Go find Rhonda's website, take the assessment, get a consultation with her. You know from having listened to her on the show that she will be a fabulous person for you to share with, and she will help you. I'll just guarantee you that she's going to help you. Wow. And to be willing, here's the thing for the like willing to go through the process like you just did today also shows me and others that you walk your talk, Rhonda, and that
Yeah,
really shows.
yeah, it's I mean, that mindset thing is a crazy thing.
It is.
Um,
I really appreciate you being on the show today. Thank you so much, Rhonda. I hope we'll
thank
have you back.
thank you.